the next one is the one I'm most excited to hear who you think is going to have the biggest season. So this draft had a ton of skill players at wide receiver and tight end that were drafted in the first round, drafted really high in the first round. So out of all of the rookie wide receivers and tight ends, who do you feel like is going to have the biggest year and why?
I'm gonna go Jamar Chase.
Ooh, okay.
Now, the reason I say Jamar Chase is that the Bengals could have drafted Penei Sewell and they didn't. Joe Mixon was injured last season, and Joe Mixon could be injured this season also. That offensive line, what did they do to improve that offensive line? They didn't do much to improve that offensive line. They could have had a generational talent in Penei Sewell, and they passed up on him. So that offensive line didn't get any better. Joe Burrow just came off a torn ACL, so they didn't improve the offensive line. That doesn't help him. But the only actual threat that the Bengals have is Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon is going to miss a couple of games. The only threat that they have is Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow played with Jamar Chase at LSU. So I'm going to say Jamar Chase is going to have the biggest season because Joe Burrow's only good receiver that he has is Jamar Chase. Tyler Boyd, that's another receiver that I like on the Bengals. But he just can't stay healthy. He misses a lot of games. Last year he missed almost half the season. So Jamar Chase is the only target, and Joe Mixon's also missing some games. So they're not gonna win the game with a backup running back. No. The only way to win games is that Joe Burrow has to play good, and the only good receiver that he has is Jamar Chase. So I gotta say that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase tandem. I gotta say that Jamar Chase is gonna have the biggest season, and that Jamar Chase when he played with Joe Burrow, I think he had over 1,800 yards receiving that one college year. So they make magic on the field together. So I gotta say Jamar Chase.
You have no love for T. Higgins, huh?
No, I don't care about T. Higgins that much.
So I think Jamar Chase is going to have a big season depending on how Joe Burrow comes back with his injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of laid it out. Joe Burrow is going to be less mobile than he was last season, and the offensive line is just as bad as it was last season. That left him out there to get injured the way that he is. So I think it's going to be tough for Jamar Chase just to get the type of looks that he wants. And give Joe Burrow enough time to be able to have for him to have the maximum. But I think Jamar Chase is an amazing talent, probably the best wide receiver that came out in this draft. So you can absolutely be right. But the person that I'm going with is the tight end that went to the Atlanta Falcons and our boy
Kyle Pitts.
You got it, my man. So Kyle Pitts. And the reason for it is I think he's going into the best situation where he has already a quarterback who is seasoned, a veteran that's throwing the ball really well. He has other weapons on that team as well in Ridley, as well as the other wide receiver that's out there. And they just lost, obviously, Julio Jones. So I think that Pitts is going to get a bunch of opportunities to be used.
I feel like Ridley's going to take most of the receptions, though. That's the only reason I wouldn't. That's the only reason
Ridley's going to take most of the defense with him, which is going to give Kyle Pitts a lot of one-on-one action in the middle of the field, which is going to give him better looks than he was even getting in college, right? Because in college he was always going to be double teamed. But he's by like corner, safety, so on and so forth. In the NFL, I think is going to be, linebackers who he's going to be faster than, or it's going to be like corners and safeties who he's going to be bigger than. And I think he's just going to eat, especially in that offense that is a pass-heavy offense. I think there's going to be plenty of balls to go around. If Julio Jones was there, I probably wouldn't be saying the same thing. But Julio Jones being gone, obviously they were able to cohabitate with Ridley and Julio Jones. Now Julio Jones is gone. Pitts is going to go into that role, and I think he's going to just be massive. Already people were talking about he's the best talent that was in this draft as far as offense. I think he went to a great situation for him, and I think they're going to utilize him a lot, especially since they just lost Julio Jones. So my guess is it's going to be Pitts that's going to have the biggest season. Probably even could be, offensive rookie of the year, depending on how well Atlanta does this season.
Yep. As long as they don't choke,
All right, cool.
Atlanta's good. if Atlanta would be Super Bowl champs, they only had to play the first 3 quarters, man. They would win the Super Bowl. They would win the Super Bowl pretty much every year. But now
Right.
they just can't hold on in the third and fourth quarter. I just don't know what happens with Atlanta.
Well, they had a whole offseason to try to, deal with their mental demons and, new coaching staff or whatever. Hopefully they could fix that. But, they're in the same division as the Super Bowl champs. So it's not going to be an easy thing to come out of that division. So we shall see. And one thing that's good about all these rookies is their first season is going to be a one extra game than most other rookies. So all of these guys, if they could stay healthy and be productive, they could break some rookie records just because they have that one extra game. You know what I mean?